Some heroes do not wear capes. They wear fur. They have 4 legs and a heartbeat that matches yours. This is a story about 7 dogs. 7 ordinary dogs that did extraordinary things. Things that should not have been possible. By the time you finish watching, you will never look at your dog the same way again. Dogs have been by our side for thousands of years. But every once in a while, a dog does something that makes you question everything you thought you knew about animals. These are not trained police canines. These are not military working dogs. These are family pets. Rescues. Ordinary dogs that rose to the moment when it mattered most. Here are 7 dogs that saved their owners in impossible situations. Number 7. Blue. A Whippet Pit Bull mix from Oregon. In June 2024, Brandon Garrett drove his truck off a curve and plunged 85 feet into a ravine. He was trapped. Injured. Alone in the dark. He crawled to a creek and spent the night in freezing rain, unable to climb out. But Blue had other plans. With glass embedded in his own snout, bleeding, in pain, Blue ran 4 miles through mountainous wilderness in complete darkness. 4 miles. Over rough terrain. At night. To reach a specific campsite where the family was staying. Blue found the campsite and alerted Garrett's brother. The next morning, search teams used a highline rope system to extract Garrett from the ravine. He was airlifted with a broken ankle and severe injuries. He survived because a wounded dog ran 4 miles in the dark to find help. Number 6. Gita. A 13-year-old mixed-breed rescue dog from Washington State. In September 2024, Deputy Wright was patrolling a rural area when he spotted Gita sitting alone in the middle of an empty road. No houses nearby. No people. Just a dog, waiting on the center line. The deputy tried to put her in his car. She refused. He drove a mile checking homes. Found nothing. When he returned, Gita was now lying on the center line staring at him. The moment he approached, she jumped up and ran down an unmarked roadway, leading him deep into the woods. At the end of that path, he found the owner. An 84-year-old man who had fallen, broken his leg, and been lying on the ground without his medications for hours. The man later said, "That dog saved my life. She knew exactly what she was doing." A 13-year-old rescue dog deliberately flagged down a police car to save her owner. Number 5. Maya. A family dog from Citrus Heights, California. In August 2024, a fire broke out in the home. The smoke detectors failed. The flames spread fast. A disabled woman was trapped in her bedroom. Unable to move. Unable to escape. When firefighters arrived, they found something that stopped them in their tracks. Maya, 8 years old, was lying unconscious on top of her owner's chest. She had used her own body as a shield. The burns that should have hit the owner's chest hit Maya instead. The dog had absorbed the fire. Her mouth and tongue were severely burned because she had been licking her owner's face as the flames closed in. Firefighters revived Maya with an oxygen mask at the scene. She survived. Her owner survived. Because one dog chose to become a living shield. Number 4. Otti. A Great Dane from California. And this story is different. Otti is a service dog. He was trained to help his owner Alexa, who has a heart condition called POTS, along with Crohn's disease and heart arrhythmia. One day, Alexa's heart rate spiked to 131 beats per minute. Her oxygen dropped to 89%. Otti refused to let her walk down the stairs. He blocked her path. He turned her around and led her to a chair. Then he did something he had never done before. Otti was terrified of elevators. A lifelong phobia. He had never voluntarily entered one. But he recognized that the stairs would dangerously spike her heart rate further. So he made a choice. He walked into the elevator. Facing his greatest fear. For her. A dog with a diagnosed phobia chose to face it because his owner needed him to. That is not instinct. That is love. Number 3. Penelope. A pit boxer mix from Wappingers Falls, New York. This story is the hardest to tell. In July 2025, at 1 in the morning, a fire started from a failing power strip. The smoke detectors did not sound. They failed completely. Penelope began barking frantically. She woke Natasha Smith and her fiancé. She got them out of the house just as smoke was filling every room. But Penelope did not make it out. She gave her life waking her family. A Dutchess County fire investigation confirmed the smoke detectors had failed. Penelope was the only warning system that worked. She saved them. And she paid the ultimate price. The family lost their home. But they kept their lives. Because Penelope refused to let them sleep through the fire. Number 2. Ruby. A pit bull from Buffalo, New York. Ruby was a certified therapy dog. Her entire training was based on being calm, quiet, and gentle. In January 2018, at 1 in the morning, Ruby started barking. Not a normal bark. A persistent, urgent bark that would not stop. She kept it up for an hour and a half. Her owner told her to stop. Ruby ignored her. Then Ruby did something she had never done before. She broke through a baby gate at the bottom of the stairs and sat at the garage door. When the owner opened the door, she smelled propane. A gas heater was leaking. Carbon monoxide was filling the home. An odorless, invisible killer. Had Ruby not persisted for 90 minutes, her owner and her boyfriend would have died of carbon monoxide poisoning in their sleep. A therapy dog trained to be quiet broke every rule to save lives from a threat no human could detect. Number 1. Sarah. A beagle mix from Port St. Lucie, Florida. In February 2022, Harry Smith, 81 years old, was walking Sarah in his electric wheelchair when it skidded down a bank into a lake. The wheelchair flipped. Harry was thrown into the water. He could not swim. He was submerged to his neck. Sarah started barking. But she did something else too. She started splashing her front paws in the water. Deliberately. Rhythmically. To attract attention. Neighbors across the street heard the splashing and saw the dog. They thought she was fighting an alligator. Instead, they saw Harry in distress. A police officer pulled Harry out of the water. He survived. Sarah had used a learned, deliberate behavior, splashing, as a distress signal. She did not just bark for help. She invented a way to signal. A beagle mix figured out how to communicate an emergency to humans across the street. 7 dogs. 7 impossible stories. A dog that ran 4 miles through the dark. A dog that flagged down a police car. A dog that became a fire shield. A dog that faced his phobia. A dog that died waking her family. A dog that detected an invisible killer. A dog that invented a way to signal for help. Every single one of these stories is verified. Every single one is real. These are not fairy tales. These are dogs. Science still cannot fully explain why dogs do what they do. Why a dog would run 4 miles with glass in its face to find help. Why a dog would lay on top of its owner to absorb flames. Why a dog would face its deepest fear just to protect someone it loves. Maybe it is loyalty. Maybe it is love. Maybe it is something we do not have a word for yet. But one thing is certain. We do not deserve dogs. If you made it this far, comment which story hit you the hardest. And hug your dog tonight. Because you never know when they might need to save you. This is Animal Impact. Follow for more incredible animal stories.